So, looks like we have a bit of a resolution to a long-standing Xbox issue. Was something that honestly was kind of cropping up and wasn't, a good look for Microsoft in general, or, it wasn't a good look for gamers in general, I feel. But now we start to kind of have a resolution to this, and things are going to be able to progress and move forward. I look at this as a good piece of information, a good announcement, definitely good news. I'm sure there's going to be people out there that look at it differently, and that's fine. We all have our own kind of tastes and likes and dislikes and all that kind of stuff. But for me, this is definitely something of a positive bit of news, and I'm sure that at least a little bit of you will agree with me on that. So, we can kind of move on and talk about some of this other stuff. But anyway, I'm very, very excited about this, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys are as well. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm the Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video. Make sure you guys slap that like button. It really helps out the channel. I do daily gaming content. If you guys enjoy, some information and some entertainment, I'm your guy. So like the video, and maybe, consider subscribing, because that helps out tremendously as well. And, I'm very appreciative of both these things. So as always, I'm always curious to hear how you guys feel about this stuff in the comments below. But this kind of ties up a chapter that was kind of ongoing for a little while now. So Microsoft has settled the antitrust lawsuit with players over the Activision Blizzard deal. The lawsuit argued that the merger would create a monopoly in the gaming world, which, again, regardless of how you felt on this, to me, I thought that Microsoft owning Activision, I didn't expect exclusive Call of Duty or, anything like that. What I expected was that Activision would fund the Xbox exclusives everywhere else, right? Like, you have the biggest yearly franchise in Call of Duty, that should 100% be able to, help Xbox Game Studios have exclusives and things. So, to me, that's what that meant. But I do feel like, maybe a lot of other people had a little bit difference of opinion than I do. So the lawsuit, which was filed in 2022, attempted to argue that the merger would create a monopoly in gaming, in subscription service and cloud gaming space. As reported by Hollywood Reporter this week, both parties notified the court that the case should be dismissed with prejudice, which means it cannot be refiled. Terms of the agreement were not disclosed. So in December of 2022, the group filed a complaint in federal court in California, arguing that the $69 billion deal could substantially lessen competition or create a monopoly in violation of the Clayton Act. The private antitrust action, which was brought by 10 video game players in California, New Mexico, and New Jersey, was initially dismissed in March after U.S. District Judge Jacqueline Corley found it failed to present sufficient evidence to support the claims. However, the plaintiffs were given 20 days to refine their legal challenge and filed an amendment containing redacted information from Microsoft, including a strategy memo, and new information from the deal's chief opponent, Sony Interactive Entertainment. Microsoft spokesperson told Reuters at some time that the amended complaint contained unsupported and implausible claims about the deal's effect on competition, and the acquisition would bring more games to more people. So now we know that, that part, Microsoft was honest about, more games to more people, so they're going to be able to do, cloud streaming. So technically, from a technical standpoint, yeah, more games to more people, but I don't really foresee that being this huge deal where people are going to go through it or whatever and go, oh man, I can't wait to play on a laggy connection on this multiplayer game. You know what I mean? You're already using the internet. That's the interesting thing to me when it comes to cloud gaming. So, especially multiplayer games. So you're already using the internet, which can be, laggy at times, and now you're using the internet with your internet. So you're relying on the game running and your internet connection. I just foresee that being kind of a mess, and that's probably why, people are not huge on going out there and playing cloud gaming. That's kind of my opinion on the subject, but we'll see how it works out. I think it's good to get this out of the way. let's see what's going to happen. I'm not one of those people that's going to go, hey, this is good news because now Microsoft can go buy 10 more studios or whatever. I actually hope that Microsoft doesn't buy any other studios or, any of that kind of stuff. I just feel like, it's one of those things that kind of needs to be gone, out of sight, out of mind. Microsoft already has enough in terms of their studios and things. I don't really feel like we need to, go there any further in terms of, hey, here's what Xbox has versus here's what they don't have. I honestly just feel like we have to have a situation where things move forward, and they have trouble. They have to prove that they can run the studios they have currently. Much less the student, the way that they've kind of handled things in the past already has been kind of a bad situation, so like for me anyway, I'm looking at this and I'm going, hey, prove that you can do these things, a certain way before you can go out there and, have people believe in your product or whatever. And I've always said that too. Let Microsoft earn your trust or whatever, We need to see how these things kind of work and how people kind of will react to how they react to what you're doing, and I think that's how Microsoft can win some people back if they wanted to. You know what I mean? It's like, it seems like Microsoft sometimes will make the right decisions and then sometimes they won't. I think, like, obviously, sometimes they make positive decisions. Like for me, I was all on board with the Activision stuff. I thought, hey, this will ensure Xbox's survival. But then when you kind of get into it, you just kind of notice that, hey, is it really doing that? Because at the end of the day, it really kind of cost, I feel like that cost Xbox fans, the entire idea of exclusive games. Like, now, will we ever have exclusive games again? I think that's probably what that ended up costing us, because it was such an expensive endeavor. It really puts you on the map. I think Xbox as an operation kind of stayed under the radar for a long time, and big brother Microsoft was like, whatever. And but once you start spending $75 billion on something, at that point things are a little bit different. And obviously, kind of, we see the way that kind of turned out. But again, nice to see that ended. I think Microsoft, I don't know, maybe they're being quiet for multiple reasons, including being able to go and do other things in the future or whatever. But I feel like obviously Microsoft has their only things that gamers are going to be stoked about. Like that's what I feel like gamers, they're waiting for that. They're waiting for those things that are going to change the way people look at Xbox. Hopefully that's something that happens sooner rather than later, because it would be nice to see Microsoft actually get some positive stuff. And we'll see how things change. I think Microsoft still has a long way to go in terms of kind of winning the short-term battles and things like that. Is that going to be something that they can do? Listen, I don't know. I'm not a prognosticator, so I'm not really sure. But I do think that they have a chance to do something and to do some special things. It really kind of comes down to if they can actually achieve some of the and stick to a plan. I think most importantly, like, you've got to stick to a freaking plan if you want to be able to, win people over. Like, that's honest. You've got to be able to do that. And, I feel like Microsoft has kind of failed to, live up to the expectations of a lot of people for many, many years. And, one day they'll say something, and then, a half a year later, they'll change direction, and they have to kind of get out of that habit anyway. So I would love to see that. I'm sure some of you would too. How do you guys feel about this? The so-called gamers lawsuit is over, but obviously the FTC apparently is still kind of looking into things or whatever, and so we'll have to see how that kind of works out. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on all of this stuff, though. It really, really it is important to me that you guys kind of react and give me some of the types of things that you want to see in the future as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have like fantastic days and stuff and have a good time gaming. That's super important that you guys kind of keep that stuff coming. I would love to see that happen. So with that being said, rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. I'll catch you next time. Remember, I do daily gaming content. Like the videos. Crap gamer